Hey everybody, welcome to the studio. Happy Monday or whatever day it may be when and if you are seeing this. Haven't been on for a little while. I've been working in the studio a lot, doing a lot of stuff, which it's a good place to be. And it was refreshing to be spending so much time focused on the studio work. For a while, I was kind of in and out, and it's generally the nature of being an artist is that there's stuff that happens in the studio and stuff outside. The idea that an artist is just painting all day, every day is not really the case in most cases, I find, due to the nature of the business and all the things that need to be handled behind the scenes. So much of it is handling the business aspects, the social media, the planning, stuff like that. And then working with resources, being somebody that lives in California with cost of living changes in California, it's gotten harder and harder to work with the available resources due to limitations and increasing costs of resources. But I am thrilled to say that there's a project that I wanted to do for a decade now, since dating back to 2011, 2012, that I wanted to do and just never really got around to it. Generally, I'm an A to B person. So when I have an idea for a project I want to do, I will just get it done and knock it out. But this one kind of sat on the sideline. I think because there were other things that were more practical for me to do at the time. So I did a lot of big projects over the past decade, some very, very big projects, but I think that they sort of pushed ahead of this. And I was thinking a couple months ago, I always wanted to do this and I hadn't got it done. So sometimes you just got to stop making excuses and make it happen. So I decided to go ahead and move forward with this project. Originally, it was going to be a series, and I decided let's just do it as a singular piece due to the nature of it. So what it is a door project. So I wanted to do originally a series of doors, and then I realized there's quite a few issues with that due to the construction of the doors and the fact that they're double sided. So it's twice the work, and then you're dealing with spatial issues in terms of storing, particularly once you put handles on them. But I wanted to do this project, and I had a concept for it. And the concept was Revelation Exodus. So revel at one on Exodus. So the idea of reveling at one on leaving. And I wanted to do a heaven and hell motif. So the idea of removing yourself from hell and moving into a space of heaven. So like you open up this hell side and you exit out of that to move into your own personal heaven, whatever that may be. And that could be something different for everybody. But I wanted to have it really represent this duality and contrasting elements in terms of colored palettes and even the handles. So I was able to obtain handles that really kind of fit the motif. The hell side being sort of a dragon head of sorts and very Victorian in nature, and the heaven side being a little more crystal-esque in nature. And on the hell side, we have a lot of fire colors. We have some harsh contrasts. We have some black that kind of looks smoky in nature. My signature stroke technique, which you can kind of see back here, is more barbed wire esque on the hell side, whereas on the heaven side, it's much softer and more flowing like feathers. And both sides have an element of fluorescence of blacklight qualities. On the hell side, it's much softer because there are limitations in terms of the colors that are available for fluorescence. And so, really, orange was kind of the range that I had to stay in, but I didn't want to get too safety hazard orangish. So, I dirtied it up a little bit and made it so it kind of just has a soft smoldering effect under the black light. And then on the heaven side, we tinted everything. We softened it up, so it's a very soft palette on that side for the most part. But a lot more going on with the fluorescence. So that side really kind of glows and feels very angelic and ethereal and heavenly. And I'm happy with the way that it turned out. I'm very satisfied with the results. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put this piece in terms of storing it, because it is just a pain, because I can't really lay it down, because one, you can't put pressure really on either side because of the techniques that I use, and two, it's now got handles on both sides. So it's very delicate, but as an artist, you just got to make the work that you need to make, and then you allow yourself to figure out the rest later. So I am much happier being in a place that I made the work and now I'm dealing with that, as opposed to not doing the work because of these things. And I think so often we'll find excuses not to do something because we're like, oh, well, I don't really have the space, or oh, it's not really practical. Do the impractical things, take the impractical road, and you can figure out the rest later. But you only get where people haven't been by doing what people haven't done. So I'm happy I did this project. I can now check that off and move on to the next thing. We never know how much time we have. So I want to do all my bucket list projects today because there's no guarantee of tomorrow. But you can check this project out on Instagram. I posted it on my reels. I am at Acrylic Alchemy on Instagram, or you can look me up by Carini Arts or Michael Carini. You should be able to recognize me. It should pull me up. But I also posted some shorts here on YouTube. I also posted on TikTok. On TikTok, I am at Carini Arts. On Facebook, I am at Carini Arts. On Twitter, I am Acrylic Alchemy. So I'm everywhere. You can usually find me by one of those names, Carini Arts or Acrylic Alchemy, or just look me up by Michael Carini. But please share my work, tell people about me, help me get the word out there. I appreciate the support. You make what I do possible. Have a good day, CariniArts.com. Check out my shop, blog, and podcast.